Welcome to Cherry Hill Tuition, where incredible results are achieved. In this mathematics tutorial, I will cover some of the excellent processes used by Cherry Hill to achieve the highest grades. Let's get started.
Okay, question 1, we have 5y over 4 plus 3 is equal to minus 2, and we are solving for y. Now, when we solve for an unknown, the first thing to always ask yourself is what is stopping the unknown from being on its own? Okay, because in order to solve for an unknown, we need that unknown on its own on one side of the equation. Okay, hopefully you will agree that it's the plus 3, the divide by 4, and the multiply by 5 that are all stopping the y from being on its own. So step by step, we need to eliminate these 3 in order to reach a value. So let's start with the plus 3. In order to eliminate something, you need to do the opposite. So the opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. So we minus 3 on both sides. So we have to do the same thing to the other side as we do to one side. Okay? So this gives us 5y over 4 plus 3 minus 3 is equal to minus 2 minus 3. On the left-hand side of the equation, the plus 3 and the minus 3 cancel out, leaving us with 5y over 4. And on the right-hand side, minus 2 minus 3 gives us minus 5. Okay? So now the only two things stopping the x from being on its own is this divide by 4 and this multiply by 5. So let's get rid of the fraction first. So let's get rid of the 4. Currently, we are dividing by 4. So the inverse of divide by 4 is multiply by 4. So you multiply both sides by 4. This leaves us with 5y over 4 multiplied by 4, we'll put that in brackets, is equal to minus 5 multiplied by 4. On the left-hand side, the divide by 4 and multiply by 4 cancel each other out because a number divided by itself, so 4 divided by 4, is just 1, okay? So we end up with 5y is equal to minus 5 multiplied by 4, which is minus 20. Okay, so let's move this here so we have some more space. Okay, now the last thing that we need to get rid of is this multiplied by 5. The opposite of multiplied by 5 is divide by 5. So we divide both sides by 5. And this leaves us with 5y over 5 is equal to minus 20 over 5. On the left-hand side, the 5 and the 5 cancel out, leaving us with y. And on the right-hand side, we have minus 20 divided by 5, which is minus 4. And that is your answer. Okay? So a clever way to check if your answer is correct is by substituting your unknown back into the equation, and the left-hand side must be true to the right-hand side. So let's try this. Okay, so our equation is 5y, and y is minus 4, over 4 plus 3 is equal to minus 2. Now the 4 and the 4 cancel out on the left-hand side, leaving us with this minus and a 5. So we have minus 5, then we have plus 3, and this should be equal to minus 2, which it is. Therefore, we know that our answer is correct. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. Now pause this video and try this question on your own. Only look at my working out if you really get stuck. Okay. You will notice that the question numbers are not consecutive. This is only because the questions refer to the Cherry Hill specific material. But do not worry if you do not have access to this. I will still cover the concepts in full in this video. Okay, so question 8, we have 2 minus 13 is equal to minus 5 divided by 3, and we need to solve for y. So again, we are solving for an unknown. And we need to ask ourselves, what is stopping the y from being on its own? But before doing that, hopefully you can see that we can already simplify this equation because 2 and minus 13 are both like terms, so we can collect these. 2 minus 13 is minus 11. And on the right-hand side, we have minus 5y over 3, okay? So as you can see, this just makes the equation look a little bit neater and a little bit easier to solve. Now, what is stopping the y from being on its own? Hopefully you will see that it is the divide by 3 and the multiply by minus 5. So again, step by step, we need to eliminate these in order to have y on its own. So let's start by the divide by 3. The inverse of divide by 3 is multiply by 3. So we multiply both sides by 3. This leaves us with minus 11 multiplied by 3 is equal to minus 5y over 3 multiplied by 3. On the left-hand side, minus 11 multiplied by 3 is minus 33. And on the right-hand side, the times by 3 and divide by 3 cancel each other out, leaving us with minus 5y. Okay? Now, the last thing that is stopping the y from being on its own is this minus 5. So again, we do the inverse to eliminate this. The inverse of multiply by minus 5 is divide by minus 5. So we divide both sides by minus 5. This leaves us with minus 33 over minus 5 is equal to minus 5y over minus 5. On the left-hand side, the minus signs cancel out, leaving us with 33 over 5. And on the right-hand side, the minus 5s cancel out, leaving us with y. So our answer is y is equal to 33 over 5. Okay? So hopefully that made sense. Now try this question on your own again and see if you get the right answer. Okay, question 25. We have 9 over minus 5z plus 9 is equal to 8. And we are solving for the unknown, which is z. So the first thing that I would do is try and make sure that we don't have any fractions, because this will make the equation a lot more difficult to solve. So let's start by taking 9 away from both sides, because we can collect the like terms. So this plus 9 we can bring to the right-hand side and collect the like terms. In order to do this, we minus 9 on both sides. This leaves us with 9 over minus 5z plus 9 minus 9 is equal to 8 minus 9. Now on the left-hand side, plus 9 and minus 9 cancel out, leaving us with 9 over minus 5z. And on the right-hand side, we have 8 minus 9, which gives us minus 1. Okay? Now, like I said, we need to try and make sure that we have no fractions involved when solving for equations. So this means that we need to somehow bring this to the top. So we can eliminate this by multiplying both sides by minus 5z. This leaves us with 9 over minus 5z multiplied by minus 5z is equal to minus 1 multiplied by minus 5z. Okay? Now all we've done is we've multiplied everything by minus 5z in order to get rid of this divide by minus 5z, leaving us with no fractions. So on the left-hand side, the minus 5z and the minus 5z both cancel out, leaving us with 9. And on the right-hand side, minus 1 multiplied by minus 5z. So we have double negatives, which gives us a positive. So we end up with just 5z. Okay? So now it's very simple to solve. The only thing that we need to do is eliminate this multiplied by 5, and this will leave us with the z on its own. So right now we are multiplying by 5. So to get rid of this, we need to divide by 5. And remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side of the equation. Okay, this leaves us with 9 over 5 is equal to 5z over 5. On the left-hand side, we have 9 over 5 as a fraction, and on the right-hand side, the 5 and the 5 cancel out, which means z is equal to 9 over 5. Okay? So try this question on your own again without looking at my working out and check if you get the right answer. Question 33, we have 2.5y plus 0.5 is equal to 3. Hopefully you can see we can already collect like terms by bringing the 0.5 to the right-hand side. So again, we are solving for an unknown, so we need to ask ourselves, what is stopping the y from being on its own? Hopefully you will agree that it's the plus 0.5 and the multiply by 2.5. So we need to eliminate these step by step in order to get the y on its own. So let's start with the plus 0.5. In order to eliminate plus 0.5, we need to do the opposite, which is minus 0.5. So we minus 0.5 on both sides. On the left-hand side, we get 2.5y plus 0.5 minus 0.5, which is equal to 3 minus 0.5. On the left-hand side, the plus 0.5 and the minus 0.5 cancel out, leaving us with 2.5y. And on the right-hand side, we have 3 minus 0.5, which is 2.5. Okay, so now the only thing that is left to eliminate in order to have the y on its own is this 2.5. Now, right now, we are multiplying by 2.5. So in order to eliminate, we need to do the opposite of multiply by 2.5, which is divide by 2.5. So we divide both sides by 2.5. This leaves us with 2.5y over 2.5 is equal to 2.5 over 2.5. On the left-hand side, the 2.5 and the 2.5 cancel out, leaving us with y. And on the right-hand side, a number divided by a number. So 2.5 divided by 2.5 gives us 1. And that is our answer. So y is equal to 1. Again, we can check if this is correct by substituting it back into the equation. So 2.5 multiplied by y, which is 1, plus 0.5 should equal 3. Let's check this. So 2.5 plus 0.5 is equal to 3. So we know that our working out and our answer is correct. So again, pause this video and try this question on your own and check if you get the right answer. So question 37, we have 7.5y divided by 2.5, and this is equal to minus 3, and we are again solving for y. So it's really important that we get rid of any fractions as soon as we can, just so it will make the equation a lot more simple to solve. So let's start by eliminating this 2.5 in order to eliminate any fractions. So right now we are dividing by 2.5. So in order to get rid of this 2.5, we need to multiply both sides by 2.5. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we will be left with 7.5y over 2.5 multiplied by 2.5, which is equal to minus 3 multiplied by 2.5. Now on the left-hand side, the multiply by 2.5 and the divide by 2.5 cancel out because it gives us 1. So we are only left with 7.5y. And on the right-hand side, we have minus 3 multiplied by 2.5, which gives us minus 7.5. Okay? Now the last thing that we need to eliminate is this 7.5, and this will lead to us having the y on its own. So right now we are multiplying by 7.5. So in order to eliminate this, we need to do the inverse, which is divide by 7.5. And we do this on both sides of the equation. This leaves us with 7.5y over 7.5 is equal to minus 7.5 divided by 7.5. On the left-hand side, then multiply by 7.5 and divide by 7.5 give us 1, so it cancels out, leaving us with just y. And on the right-hand side, we have minus 7.5 divided by 7.5. So a number divided by itself gives us 1, but we also have one negative sign, leaving us with minus 1. So our answer is y is equal to minus 1. Okay? So this question looked a little bit difficult because we had a few fractions and we also had decimals, but using the same concepts, then we can make it a little bit easier. So again, try this question on your own without looking at my methods and check if your answer is correct. Okay. So question 40, we have 2.4 is equal to 1.2y. And we are solving for y. So this question is quite straightforward as we only have one thing stopping us from having the y on its own, and that is this that is this 1.2. So we need to eliminate this 1.2, and right now we are multiplying y by 1.2. So in order to eliminate this, we need to divide both sides by 1.2, because that is the opposite of multiplied by 1.2. So we divide both sides by 1.2. And this leaves us with 2.4 over 1.2 is equal to 1.2y is equal to divided by 1.2. Now on the left-hand side of the equation, 2.4 divided by 1.2 is 2. And on the right-hand side, the 1.2's cancel out, leaving us with just y. So y is equal to 2. Okay, so quite straightforward this one was.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, practice makes perfect. Never give up. I will see you in the next tutorial.